welcome back. Today's video, I was thinking about doing something a little bit different, and that is just showing you one of the roller types that I have. And I'm theming this video as kind of a lazy girl hair setting technique. So these are the Rockin Rollers, and they are from vintagehairstyling.com. They were available on Amazon at one point. I'm not sure if they are right now. I will link them below. I've actually had these rollers for a long time and I really like them, but there are a few reasons why I haven't talked about them or introduced them thus far. I'm gonna kind of go over the pros and cons, kind of review them, and then also show you how I use them and what the brush out process will look like. Essentially, these rollers are a long, kind of like a curling rod, and they are foam on the inside with like a kind of more satin finish on the outside. These have the leopard pattern, which is really cute. And on the ends, they have little snaps that fasten together. They're very easy to use, and what I love about them is you can kind of put more hair on the curler because it is so long. You want to do thin sections, but you can do very wide sections, and because of that, you can kind of do your head with less rollers and you can get it done in a very short amount of time. The other benefits are the shape of the roller itself is quite narrow, and I think this size is great for a 1940s curl, just under an inch. So I think the size is really great. I think they're very easy to use, very user-friendly. You're not gonna get super frustrated because you don't have those terrible little plastic clips. As far as like indentation, you don't have to worry about anything leaving a mark. I like the smooth texture of the roller. The satin fabric I think is great for frizz reduction. Sometimes people that use foam rollers complain that they get a lot of frizz, and I think that the movement of the hair while you're sleeping creates friction with the roller, so having a smooth, textured base will prevent that from happening. My overall opinion is I really like these rollers, and I find myself using them when I'm tired, when I just want to put curl to my hair but I don't really care what the result is. Like, I'm not doing a specific setting pattern, I just want a nice soft curl, very natural looking. Honestly, I would compare them to using rag curlers. It rolls up this way. It's not gonna roll up really tight to your head, or at least it's harder to get it to roll tight to your head. It's harder to get an on-base curl. You can connect them to each other and try to get them to stay more, but I find it can be just the most comfortable. And usually when I use these, I am using them for comfort. I want a good night's sleep. I don't want to toss and turn. I don't want anything poking me. And if you are looking for an introductory hairstyling product and comfort is your biggest thing, then I definitely recommend you picking up these rollers. The negatives, I would say the main negative that I have with the product is when I received the package, some of the plastic buttons were not even on there, so there was nothing to connect it to. That, and some of them have broken off. So even though I got some that were fully usable, the first time I used the roller, one of the little snaps fell off. That kind of coincides with the second thing that I don't like about them, and that's you only get, I think, 12 in a package, and I definitely need more than that to do my whole head. That combining with having to have extra to replace all the ones that were broken, those are the biggest negatives that I have with the rollers. Doesn't deter me from using them though. I still use them and I will still recommend them. I only wish that the product didn't have those flaws. Other things to be mindful of is because it is a fabric curler, it's gonna take a long time to dry, especially if you're doing a true wet set. Typically when I use these, I take a shower, let the hair air dry until it is mostly dry, and then I'll just kind of re-wet sections with the spray bottle, with the setting lotion. That way I know it will dry, especially if you need to take them out the next morning. If you can't wait till the next afternoon, definitely let your hair dry a little bit. I think these are a great product for people with long hair. I haven't really tried them on short hair since my hair has grown out since I bought them. I don't think they would be bad for short hair. I think you could create some really soft like a soft bob, like a Grace Kelly hairstyle. It probably just takes some trial and error, but I do recommend them for long hair because they are so comfortable and you can do those wide sections and wrap a lot of hair on there at once. I have tried setting patterns with them, but typically when I'm using them, it's because I want a very minimal effort, and I kind of just part my hair and take my comb and create sections. I always section behind the ear, and then the back is its own section. I kind of started up here, and just working with the comb. And I set my hair last night around 7, and it is the next day, and it's 3 o'clock, so it better be dry. Now, because this was my lazy girl hair routine, I didn't do that many rollers, but if you want something really curly and really fluffy, you can use more rollers than I did. You can put a lot less hair on them and do smaller sections and just create more rows and layers. They come out very easily, and I like to kind of just push it off the roller. That way we keep that little curl formed until we're ready to brush it out. Typical pink foam rollers with the clasp, sometimes you can have some challenges getting them off, but I don't ever have any problems with these. I guess I should count how many rollers I used. I didn't do that. I'm making a nice little pile, so it didn't seem like that many, but now that I'm looking at the pile, I think it's a lot. Okay, so I used 15 rollers, so almost enough that comes in one set. So I guess if you only wanted to buy one set of these, I think it comes with 12, you could just use something else for your bang section, and then one set would probably be enough to do your whole head, but it just depends on how much hair you have, how fine or thin your hair is, and how long it is. If you're interested, you could always start with one pack and then make do supplementing, which is what I did for a very long time, but then I really wanted something more consistent, and I had to replace the broken ones, so I ended up buying 2 packets. So all the rollers are out. It's a very full head of ringlet curls. So now we can apply a pomade if you have one. I kind of always like to use one. And then we can brush out the curls with whatever brush you have. I use the Denman, but you can use a wet brush, a paddle brush. Because the curls weren't super small and tight, they're gonna brush out fairly quickly. But I think these rollers create a nice amount of fluff. Just the right amount, not too much. It's not gonna take me an hour to brush through it. And honestly, the results with how comfortable they are make it worth the things that I don't like about them. Another way that I love to use these rollers is for re-rolling my hair, and that is on day 2 or 3 of a set that has just kind of fallen. Sometimes I just need to have the set maintained overnight. These are a super comfortable, quick and easy way to reform the curls. So essentially, I would do the same setting method, but use these and kind of just recurl everything. And it's an alternative way to kind of change your hairstyle midweek. So let's say you had your hair in a page boy and it's day 3 and you want to reset it, you can reset it with these rollers and it will kind of zhuzh it, but it might add more curl, and therefore you can kind of change your style midweek without having to wash and reset. And usually when I re-roll, I'm just using a spray bottle of water, depending on how much product is in my hair. So depending on how curly you want your hair to be, you could probably stop curling or stop brushing right about now. I think it's really cute to wear the hair curly like this. And kind of just smooth out the top.
And now that the hair is mostly brushed out, I'm just going to smooth out the top with my comb. If you like, you can add a little bit more definition with some duckbill clips. And to set the style in place, a little spritz of some fine hairspray. As you can see, the result of this roller brush out is a very soft and fluffy curled hairstyle. I hope you enjoyed my lazy girl hair curling technique and my review of Rockin Rollers.